less than or equal to. That is the most it could be. It can't be more than that. So there's my less than or equal to. Okay, that's my claim. Set up your claim first, then decide. This is HO. Complement, HA. Tail, HA. This is a p-val test. So we don't need to find any rejection areas. We just need to find your value for that z-score. So again, we pull out your sample information. We find your z-score. We locate the area for that z-score. We take your p-val. Don't forget we have to subtract it. Oh, your thing was down here. This is one of those where I think the book makes a mistake. Because your area is way up here. Your z-score came out down here. And that's very possible too. But usually that says, you know, you're way, way off. Something might be wrong here. So you found your area to the right because you want your area greater than. So you're looking for your area to the right. So therefore you had to subtract that from 1. And you test. And p-val test, p-val to level of significance, use your chart. It's greater than, fail to reject H0. So there's, again, follow your chart. I want you to use these words. There's not enough evidence to reject the claim. What is your claim? That the consumption of cheddar cheese is at most 10.3 pounds. Just go through and repeat the claim. All I want you to do is repeat it. And if you want to use your calculator, I'm fine with that. Again, it's a nice one. Stat test. It's the first one. Enter your information. This is your population mean from your claim. That's from your claim. Standard deviation, we've got to give that to you. Standard deviation, it has to be a population one. Here's your X, what you tested, what you found, 9.9. Your N, 100. And where your tail goes, just follow the tail. It went to the right, follow the right, and calculate. I'm fine with using the calculator. Just make sure you tell me what you put in. I noticed on the quiz, and thank goodness you did, because a couple of you put it in backwards. You put your sample and your population backwards. Now, if I didn't see that in there, I'd have to mark the whole thing wrong, because I don't know what you put in. So tell me what you put in. There's your z-score. Rounded to 2 decimal place. There's your p-val. And you can just check the p-val from there. I'm fine with the calculator. Just tell me calculator step. Alright. 34. Same setup. I wanted you to use p-val. The mean is, that's an equal sign. That's your HO. Your HA is a two-tailed test. Find your z-score, so you're cutting it off with your test statistic. And why did I give you a plus or minus? It should only be a plus. It's only a plus. It's only a plus. It's two-tailed, but your z-score only is a positive. It's whatever, however you do this. I probably was going to do the reject region, and I changed my mind. So it becomes positive, it goes to your right tail. So you're going to find your p-val. Remember, a two-tailed test, what do you do with your area when you look up your z-score? You multiply it by 2. Your tails give you 2 chances. So don't forget to multiply it by 2 and then compare it. So you're going to reject H0. Now, how would I do this if I was doing a reject region? What is different? And what are you going to have to do to it first? Divide by 2. So put it in your calculator, inverse norm. Let's just put the reject region right onto this. Inverse norm. Why am I dividing it by 2? 2 tails. So now I'm not going to put this here. What am I going to put here? 1.95, 1.96. Positive 1.96, negative 1.96. Okay, that's my critical value. Yes? tail test.
Oh.
Two tails. Mm-hmm.
You're not going.
No. Now, this is my critical value. I don't need to look up my p-val now. I can avoid this right here. I can avoid that, and all I need is this z-score. My z-score is 213. It falls past my 1.95, doesn't it? So my z-score falls in here. This is my, in case you can't see it, this is my 1.96, 1.95. I fall to the right of this. This I had labeled reject H0. Any of my shaded spots say reject H0. This says fail to reject H0. So I don't have to do this. I get it right off of this graph. The information doesn't change. It's one time I look at area, one time I look at z-scores. Do we feel that? That's the most important part for you to get. I'm not changing any information. It's just the flip side of this. Okay, then 21 and 22, I just asked you to find me the critical value, the cutoff. Now, if you're on a right tail test and you do inverse norm 0.05, you are getting negative 1.645. But I'm on the right side, so what does that have to become? Positive. What's another way I could look it up in inverse norm? 1 minus that. I can do inverse norm. I don't like to do the inverse norm 1 minus, but you can absolutely do it because you're looking for all this area. It kind of like, I think it kind of makes you think you're looking at the other side of it. Your tail is still your right tail. So I don't like to throw this one in. I like to say, look this up and place it. If it's on the right side of your test, because you still only want that area. You don't want that big area. You want that little area.
For number 33, you wanted the big area, right?
For number 33,
yeah.
You did. Yes, it was to the right. So we label this reject H0. We label this fail to reject H0. Yeah, number 33, it always leads me to believe they made something wrong in the
Yeah,
problem.
because like it looks weird, because usually you
Yeah.
want the smaller.
It's usually by your tail.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. It was on the opposite
Yeah,
side of the
that's
graph.
pretty good.
It usually
Did I
makes me
minus,
think.
like did the 1 minus 0.9 whatever?
Right. What would make that change is if they didn't do it equal, if they did it the opposite way. So I think sometimes the book makes a little mistake, or maybe they mean it to be that way and that could happen. If you want to say fail to reject H0, abbreviate as long as you label it. And then this guy, I didn't give you these. I gave you 37?
Yeah.
Okay. They state that the mean is, there's a two-tail test. We're looking for your cutoff. So you have to take the 0.01 and divide it by 2. Let your calculator do it. Do your z-score test and see where it falls. What I want you to remember is I didn't do this, but fill these in. Fail to reject H0. Fill those parts in. Hello, Mr. Cohen. Hi. Yes, I do. Sure can. Okay, bye. Mercedes 243 or 246, Mr. Kavanaugh. He gave me 2 rooms.
No, it's this.
Oh, okay. Okay, so now, I like this because you actually can see this. I think the p-val is a little bit more abstract. Because even though you're measuring area and one area is smaller than the other, this kind of lets you see where this falls. So your negative 0.48 falls in here. It falls in your fail to reject H0. So that is your decision. Okay? You have to be able to label that. You have to be able to label the shaded parts fail is reject H0. The not shaded parts fail to reject H0. And remember to give me the sentence. One more, guys. One more. Which one did I give you? 40. A light bulb, da-da-da, is at least greater than or equal to. So the tail is a left tail test. Find your critical value at 0.02. Just look up inverse norm 0.02. And that is your critical value. So where this falls, and we should say this is my fail to reject H0. This one came out almost. Reject H0. So go over these. Test on Monday on this. It shouldn't be so bad. Most of you got good